The first card you have for your past is the Chariot. So I think this is about you starting to get your strength back. It was like you were starting to get back on track after a lot of problems. I think, you've had so many problems. It's really been one thing after the another for you, actually, on every level, I think. And some of these things were things that you were responsible for, I think. But a lot of things that had happened were because you were reacting to what was going on around you. You had some horrible things happen to you, and sometimes you reacted okay, but other times you're kind of unhappy and you're pushing against things. And that's understandable. I'm not blaming you. But I think while you were pushing against things, pushing, especially one big thing that might still not have come to you yet, it's still ahead of you, but it's a big thing that's there that you think, I don't want to do this, I'm pushing against it, and you're like this for a long, long time. But then you might have realized that, I'm going to have to do this. It's not ideal. It's going to lead me to something better. So I'll just do this. I'll say yes to this, and I'll just drop this and go with the flow. I'll let it happen. It's not terrible, but it's not wonderful. So I'm just going to go with the flow and let it lead me to something better. And once you had that change in your mindset, it really helped you. And I think that opened your mind up to a lot of new things that were coming to you. And this helped you to really move forward in a much better way than you were before. Because while you're kind of efforting and pushing, all that energy was going into negativity and against this, and I don't want this. And once you stopped that and you just went with that, your mind allowed new solutions and new ideas and new things to come in. Now, I don't think they were all totally doing that at this stage. They were starting to, because you still have this thing that you don't quite like that's still ahead of you. You're going to have to do that. But once you've actually done that thing, and I think it might be coming up for you in the next 1 or 2 months, maybe. Once you've done that thing, that's going to totally free you and totally open you up. And again, you're not going to be 100% happy doing that or in that thing, whatever that is or wherever that is. But you'll see it as a stepping stone. It'll make you freer, and you'll be able to move to better places from that position. I hope that makes sense to you. So the next card you have for your past is the Page of Wands. So yeah, again, you were looking up to where you wanted to go. You were stuck for a long, long time. But then when you had this change in mood, you had this shift in what you want to do, that opened yourself up again to do new things. Now, there are other things that you wanted to do, I think, in your past. You wanted to expand something. This might have been work. This might have been business. I am seeing something technical, and I'm seeing that you might have to learn something technical for you to be able to move forward with this. Now, this is going to be a learning curve for you. It's not going to be easy. The pages are students sometimes. They can be students. So, and he's looking up to the top of this wand and he's saying, I want to grow. I want to learn. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And that's how you were at this time. But this freedom that you gave yourself by not pushing opened you up to new ideas to help you to do this. Now, again, I don't think you are ready to start all of these ideas and do all of these things yet. But I think when this other thing happens in your future, that's when you're going to really wrap this up and you're going to really be able to move forward with this. But at this time, this was like a preparation time for you. You're preparing for this, you were doing this. And also, I think you had to learn something, this technical thing I'm seeing. It might be a bit of a stress factor for you. You might be really stressed with this technical thing. I get stressed with technical things sometimes when they don't work. But yeah, I think once you've done this, you'll be able to do this. And even the fact that you've been able to do this is going to give you more confidence, and that's going to help this growth as well. And so, yeah, moving forward, that's what I'm seeing in both of these cards. You're really opening up, you're opening yourself up, you're moving forward. And this new way of dealing with things, this new thought process, and it made you more relaxed as well, is going to open up a whole new chapter in your life that's starting to come to you. And I'm seeing something very special coming up to you. And it's only able to happen because you opened up and went with the flow rather than pushing and resisting. I really hope that makes sense to you. So the last card you have your past is the Two of Swords. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm seeing with this card. I'm actually seeing someone from your past, an ex, and I think there was a third party around this at one time. There was a separation between you, and I think it was because of this third party. Now, things weren't perfect before this separation, before you found out about this third party, or before it happened, but nobody's perfect, and there's no, for me anyway, there's no excuse for cheating on someone. I think, if you feel like that, then, leave the relationship and start a new one. If you have an open relationship and everyone's happy with it, that's another thing. But if you're going behind someone's back and they don't know, that's a different thing again. That's my point of view. You might disagree, I don't know. But yes, you had this separation I'm seeing. It was because of a third party, and you went through a huge amount, a horrible lot of things because of that. You went through a lot of heartbreak and bewilderment. I'm seeing bewilderment. It's this feeling of suddenly not knowing who you were or where you were. That's how you're feeling. It was a bit like, this will sound horrible, but I think it felt a bit like someone had taken you hostage and dumped you in a strange place, and you took your blindfold off and you were in this strange place completely lost, and you just didn't know where you were and what you were going to do. Just so lost. That's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm feeling. It's really, really horrible. But yeah, I think you gradually got through that feeling, and it took time, but you did it, and here you are. But what I'm seeing here is that this person, this ex of yours, might have been thinking at this time that, or realizing that they're unhappy with their choices. Now, I think they were thinking about this. They're thinking about the time with you, their past, the choices they made, some bad choices they made. But I just think it was too late. It was too late for them to come back to you. But in their mind, I think they were still stuck in the past. They were thinking about, what I'm seeing them seeing, I hope that makes sense, is they were seeing two people in front of them, you and this third party, and they could see the time when they had this choice and they made the wrong choice. Not just the choice of this other person, but the choice of actually doing something behind your back. And they might have gone behind their back as well. Maybe the third party didn't know you were there. Might have been that as well. But yeah, they made a bad choice. They made a very bad choice. And that's what they're thinking, or that's what they were thinking about at this time. They can't go back. They can't do anything. But they're kind of stuck there. They're stuck with all these memories. They're stuck with all these regrets, or they were at this time. Maybe they still are. But yeah, it's sort of like, you're pushing forward, you're heading into the future, but they're stuck in the past. That's what I'm seeing. So yeah, the first card you have your present is the Six of Cups. So yeah, this card can be the card of nostalgia, remembering the past. So they had some regrets. They had a lot of regrets actually, but they're also remembering some of the good times they had with you. And I think you might have also been having a few flashes of memories of your time together coming into your head as well. But you weren't feeling any regrets about this separation. They were, but you weren't. And maybe you're having these flashes because they were putting so much energy into this, and you were kind of picking up on that, because you can be a little bit intuitive as well. So I don't think you even feel very much for them at all. Obviously, you're not happy about the way you were treated, but you're not stuck there anymore. You're not stuck in the past anymore. You were once, but you're not now. You're totally free. You're kind of moving forward, but they're not. They're stuck. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have your present is the Star. So yeah, this is beautiful. I'm seeing something very, very, very beautiful in this card. And I'm seeing creativity as well. So yeah, you're a very creative person, and I think you've always been like that. I think you might have had to put a lot of your creativity to one side. I'm actually seeing, projects or things you're working on, creative things that you've had to put aside or even put away totally. And I'm just getting this feeling around this that you might even feel as if that side of you needs to be closed off for now, because you might have been, or you might be associating your creativity with some kind of difficult time in your past, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But I think with the Star card, you're going to open up this side of yourself again. It's going to show up, and it's going to show itself. And I think it's going to show itself in a new way. You know, the thing is with creativity, it has to show itself. People who are creative are creative. It's what they are. It's not something they do. It's something they are. So whether this is music, fine art, acting, whatever this is a part of you. This is in you. And that's what I think this star is in this card. It's that part of you that wants to shine. It's saying to you, I want to shine, let me out, I want to shine. Now, if you look at this woman in this card, she's not looking at the star. She's concentrating on other things. She has her back to the star, but it's still there. It's huge, it's golden. So even though you have your back to your creative side right now, you put it away or whatever, it's still there and it's going to come back. And when it does, you won't be able to ignore it. You will not be able to ignore this. And I'm really glad you won't, because I'm actually seeing some kind of creative project or some kind of thing that's going to lead to a job, probably. And you're going to put everything into this. You're going to pour yourself into this, pour your soul into this, like this woman's pouring this water. And I think this might be what you are opening up your mind to in the Chariot. This is what you're opening up to receive. It was so you could accept this creative flow that I'm seeing here. So this is so beautiful and it's tying in so beautifully. I'm so happy to see this. And I really hope that makes sense to you as well. The last card you have your present is the Tower. Yes. Don't worry about this. I'm actually seeing some positivity. I am seeing positivity in this card, believe it or not. Because I think this is going to be about losing your ego. Now, I'm not saying you have a great big horrible ego that needs to be broken. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think this has something to do with you pursuing your creativity in spite of what other people and society thinks you should be doing. So what I mean by that is there's an idea, there's kind of a silly idea in society. Well, there are a lot of silly ideas in society, but there's this idea that says creative work isn't work. It's not real work. And I think that when you do jump into whatever this says, you're going to have to grow a thick skin, actually, because you're probably going to come into contact with people, or you'll have people around you who are going to have a lot to say about what you're doing. Now, like I do. So you're going to have to lose that crown of so-called respectability. It's a hollow crown. You don't want it. It's a veneer. It's not real. It's not the real you. This is what people are projecting onto you. It's like, put that crown on so you can be respectable and we can approve of you and you can do whatever we want and you can go along and do whatever we say. Do you want that crown? No, you don't. I don't either. You're going to turn into the real you, and the real you does not want that crown. And this is going to be so freeing when that falls off. It's going to be the best thing ever. Now, the best thing for me, anyway, about doing something that's outside of what's considered normal is that people can't categorize you. I love that. So they don't know where to put you. And I hate being categorized. But this isn't about me. This is about you. This is freedom for you. So if this is resonating, you're going to get this amazing freedom. And you're going to have to break yourself down a bit. That's what the Tower is about as well. So some bits that you kind of thought were the norm for you, that you had a certain social standing, or that you had this kind of people opinion of you, you're going to have to lose that. You're going to be broken right down. But what's going to be left is the real you, and it's going to set you free. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have for your future is the 8 of Cups. So, yeah, I think this is about this ex in the 2 of Swords. And I think this is when they're going to start to move on from all of this. It's going to happen now, or it's going to happen soon. I'm just looking at the moss on this card. There's a lot of moss, a lot of stagnancy. And, you know, when you have shallow water and you have a lot of rocks, there are these areas where the water stands still. It doesn't flow because it's trapped by the surrounding rocks. And that's what's been happening to this ex, this person, all this time. They were trapped and they were stagnant and they couldn't move. And it was like they were you know, they weren't like the running water. They weren't like the running water. And so they were sitting there stagnant, and they were gathering all this moss, which kind of weighed them down even more. But now I'm seeing them starting to move. They're moving away from you, away from all the negative energy. They're moving on from these old emotions. And they're going to do this because they're forcing themselves. They're wanting to do this, and they're passionate about this. This man's wearing red as well. So I think you might have even felt this energy coming from them. Again, I was seeing that happening. I was seeing that happening in the, I can't remember where it was, but they were thinking about you. I think it was in the Six of Cups. They were thinking about you. They were stuck in the past, and you could kind of feel that coming from them. That's going to happen again now in the Eight of Cups. They're going to move on. They're going to lift themselves out of this old situation, these old energies, these old emotions, and you're going to sense this, and you're going to feel lifted and lighter as well. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the next card you have for your future is the Ten of Pentacles. I love this card as well. Yeah, I'm seeing a really specific thing here, actually. I like this card because it's positive and it's slow moving, but it's moving towards something positive. But sometimes, you know, it can be about different things. So I'm seeing a few different things in this. So yeah, I'm actually seeing a really specific thing now. I'm seeing a specific thing here. So this is about this creative thing that you'll be pursuing. And I think you might end up making this your career, actually. I mean, obviously this is going to take time for you to get to this stage, but you're going to make money doing this if this is what you choose to do. And yeah, again, this card can be about building up your money slowly. So this is also reflecting what I was seeing in the Tower card. There's a family in this card, and I think there might be some members of your family who might not approve of you doing this. They don't like you doing this. They're talking about you doing this in a negative way. Because if you look at the couple in the middle of this card, they look as if they're kind of chatting and maybe even gossiping or talking about you or saying something. So people in your family are going to be talking about you, I think, and there are still going to be some family members who you're close to. But I think you are going to find yourself separated from some of these people, or you're going to deliberately distance yourself from some of these people. And you know, if you look at the coins on this card, they're separating you from the people on this card. So your creativity and this creative career or this job that's coming out of this is going to separate you from these people. So, you know, if this resonates, you know, there's not going to be a lot that you can do about this, because I think they're going to say a lot of these things to you. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to be irritating. They're going to show that they don't understand. They might even be nasty. And so the only thing you can do is distance yourself from these people and, you know, keep the people who support you, obviously, and lose these people because they're talking about you. They don't approve of you. And that's what I was seeing happening in the Tower once again. So the last card you have for your future is the Seven of Pentacles. So you have more coins here. So again, you're putting everything, or you're going to be putting everything into this creative thing. It is going to lead to some kind of job or career for you gradually, and that's going to build up. And I am seeing success in this for a few reasons, because you love this, and because you just want to do this, and because you're passionate about this. And there's money involved in this, obviously, in this card. And yeah, it's going to be slow growth, but it's going to happen. And the other thing I notice about this card is this man's by himself. So again, that was reflecting what I was seeing in the Ten of Pentacles. You're going to distance yourself and you're going to have this time by yourself. Now, don't worry about this. It doesn't mean you're going to have no friends or anything like that. But you are going to have a smaller group of people around you. But these are going to be people who understand you. And these are going to be people who support you. And believe me, when you're doing this thing that frees you, that you love, that's beautiful, you're going to make friends with people who do the same thing. So you're going to make a lot of new friends with like-minded people. So this is going to free you to do what you love, to bring money in, and to have new friends that are like-minded. So this is an absolutely beautiful, positive reading. I love this so much.